Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to, as you can see, a replay of a battle. But this will end up being the first really good battle that I had in the C1 Ariete. Now, I won all 10 battles in the first 10, so technically they were all good battles because we won, but I didn't necessarily do good in the C1 Ariete in all of them. I had 2 kills in a few, I had 1 kills in a couple battles, and anyway, so that automatic, he's blasting away at something, which I couldn't see, obviously, in the regular battle. You can see it's an Mi-24 in the replay. But I couldn't tell if he was actually shooting at something, and then he pops off his smoke, so I really had no idea what he was doing there. But obviously he was firing at a helicopter, and must have been worried about counterfire and popped off his smoke. But I am going to take my C1 Ariete P and go around to the lower southwest approach in the Bravo point. And if I can beat the enemy there, I'm going to try and get the Bravo point. And if not, at least I've got a good hull down position there where I can watch the sniper point all the way to the north in Charlie 6. And watch the other obvious hiding spot in E6 there to the north of the Bravo point. So that was my plan here. As we slowly crawl up the hill, I'm figuring at this point I'm probably not going to beat anybody to Bravo. So we've got the Soviets, we've got the French, and we've got the Americans on the enemy team, and our team is Italy, Germany, and Japan. So everybody except Britain. So I'm crawling up here now. Of course, you can see that AMX-40 just barely in the side, but that's not where I was looking, so I didn't see him go through there. I'm focused on watching their sniper ridge there because I'm expecting to see 4 or 5 Abrams up there and 2 or 3 T-80s or T-55 AM1s in that spot I just looked at right there. So, someone is capturing the B point. I can't see who it is. I back off, get into the hull down, and wait for them to show themselves coming up from around when they finish capturing. So I'm a little more exposed than I really need to be, but I wanted to make sure I got a good sight onto him and shot at him. So you can see him running off to the right there in the replay. Now what I saw in the actual game was that explosion there to the left right here. So I thought it was somebody small and sneaky like a BT-5 or something had captured and run off to the left and crashed into a building. So that's where I'm watching. And now I figure, okay, he's run off that way. I'm going to go chase him down while he's being shot at by my teammate up there and isn't seeing anything. So as I'm moving in, I can hear all the gunfighting going on over here. I can see fire and smoke. Someone's been hit pretty hard. And I spot the AMX-40 going up the hill, put a good hit into him. He backs off and punches off some smoke, and I can see that I've got a teammate up there. Tried to take a third-person shot at him, but third-person shots through fences and obstacles here are really, really annoying. So there's 2 more enemies driving behind the smoke. I'm going to move to where I can hopefully intercept them or finish off this AMX-40. And crash through every stone fence that this little village had put up here. Tank spotted up there behind the smoke, and T-80U. Good shot into him, take him out. Bounce an enemy return fire shot. Spot the AMX-40 backing away through his smoke, put another shot into him to finish him off for my second kill. Back off just in time to bounce a shot from that AMX-30, which I couldn't tell what it was, actually. And crash through yet another stone building here. And then crash into yet another stone building here. I renamed myself Austin Powers after this battle was over. You'll see why as you keep watching. So I can see his turret there. I thought from here that it looked like an AMX-40 to me. I was afraid that I was going to have AMX-40 APF-SDS flying in at me with a stabilized gun. If I'd have known it was an AMX-30, I might have pushed him a little earlier. But I'm right now trying to just reverse out of here without necessarily giving him a shot. And then he moves to the right, and I see him move. And I decide to press that advantage and move to a position where I can get a shot back at him instead of him sitting and waiting on me now. So watching off to the right, he doesn't come out there. Look back up, there he is waiting. Try to get a shot into his turret, and I just pulled my shot a little bit too far high to get a hit on him. I was hoping to mark him there. But that missed, so back off and get back behind cover again. Or at least concealment, because it's not really good cover. It still can't quite get out of here without... I can't really afford to take a look behind myself to watch where I'm steering either, so... There we go. Okay, we've got him in sight. He can see me. He probably just see my track through the opening in that door there. Tried another third-person shot, and this is where I decided, okay, they're just not worth it. He fires up again, follows up again with a shot, and knocks down half that little hut. And now he's exposed, and for whatever reason, drives forward, gives me a shot at his turret. And then changed his mind halfway about where he was going to evacuate to, and that let me put another shot through his turret to finish him off finally for my third kill. And you can see here to the left, another T-55 AM1 closing in, coming back to try and help his squad mate. He puts a shot into me that thankfully bounces, and I get a good shot into him that sets him on fire and knocks out some crew members, and as I pull up for a follow-up shot, right as I fire it, he blows up from the fire. So, there's my fourth kill, and I decided instead of neutral steering, I was just going to reverse my way into the Bravo point from here, because it probably would have gotten me there maybe faster, but I figured the time it would take would end up being a zero-sum gain, and it was faster to just neutral steer into the point and reverse into the point and then neutral steer my way back towards where the enemy was going to come from. So that's what I did. So in position on Bravo, team is also taking Charlie, although they're having some trouble with it. But, and there, they've been taken out by an XM1 GM's, got about 4 people up north at Charlie. And even though we had an overwhelming numbers advantage, the guys weren't really communicating and talking about where he was. So we've got 4 guys essentially around the Charlie point, and one guy with me here at Bravo, so I'm just going to stay at Bravo. So he hits one and takes one out, and I look over and see him moving in. It's Zimmer, who I was following out of the spawn earlier. There's another shot at him. I fired a shot here, not so much to do anything useful, but more just to get the attention of whatever was engaging my teammate and let him know that, hey, you got 2 to worry about here, not just 1. Maybe get him to back off. After the point was captured and I'd recovered a little bit of ammo, I pushed up to reinforce him and give the enemies something else to think about. And I know there's at least 2 enemies up here now because the Tunguska has joined in, so I move in to knock out the Tunguska so he can deal with whatever's over there. Now I can't see that T-80B as I'm driving up. There's the Tunguska, put a shot just below where I really wanted to hit him, took out his track, lined back up on him, and then he unloads with all the dust and smoke in the world. And right as I get my shot lined up ready to hit him, he hits my barrel, which then explodes as I put a shot through it. So, I should have been able to get my 5th kill here on the Tunguska, but the T-80B that was hiding in the woods, in the hills, up in front of me, manages to take me out. So unfortunately, I only got 4 kills, and I would get a capture, and called that good enough for the first good battle in the C1 Ariete. 4 kills is the minimum I'll go for that. And then respawned in my OF-40 Mark IIA, which was another immediate favorite tank of mine as soon as I unlocked it. I'm almost got the thing spaded out, actually, just from regular driving it. Put artillery on the Bravo point, which they are now capturing, figuring it's probably the Tunguska, but it might be the T-80B. It's actually the Abrams that took out the Zimmer, who is driving up in front of me in his Leopard 2K now. So as we're coming back up here to Bravo to counter-attack on B, Zimmer runs into our friend the Tunguska here, who manages to take out his gun barrel. And he reverses back down out of the way to get some cover. And I've got to take a little bit of a turnaround, but it all worked out as I get the turret shot that I was hoping for and finish off the Tunguska here. So I did not end up with an assist to go along for my C1 Ariete, but I finished off the Tunguska myself, so good enough. Fired off my smoke there to cover the Zimmer during his repair, and I pushed forward to buy him enough time to get fixed. so that I had another 120mm helper gun with me. Can hear and see the Abrams coming up here. Get a good disabling shot into him there. Took out his gunner and his commander and his rotation. Went to go for his gun breach with this shot, which didn't pen. And then went back to taking out hull shots to take out his gun crew here. And then he got taken out by a Type 90, which was totally fine with me because I really wanted to get back into the B point anyways and finish things off. The T-80B that killed me got taken out by a Leopard 2A4, so we're free and clear now at the Bravo point. So we push in and set up to recapture it. And this is when the enemy takes to the air in quite a lot of force. Like everybody left on the enemy team almost, it felt like, was in airplanes right now. So you can see just airplanes after airplanes after airplanes coming back. And now I'm moving in to get to covering position, and somebody is marking on the minimap down near A, which, as you can see on the minimap, is completely unprotected by our team. As this P-47 comes in, I tried to get my heavy up on him. He didn't quite fall into my arc of fire before he got taken out by the Type 90. And that was that for him. So the spotting on the map around the A point is continuing here, so I decided, okay, I will react to that because we've got 3 guys behind me at Bravo and multiple guys up ahead of C, so I will go see if I can spot somebody down near the A point, and if nothing else, I can at least overwatch A and try to cover it from them coming in to take it. So here's where I decided, alright, I checked the minimap, I saw where all my teammates were, I'm heading into Alpha. And what I'm going to do is, rather than driving all the way down to Alpha and being exposed any more than I already am to all the air cover going over, enemy air cover going over, I'm just going to pull up here to this hill and watch the A capture point, and that way I can react to Bravo if need be, and I can go down after A if they start taking it. But hopefully I can see them coming to A and shoot them before they get there. So we've got the Zimmer here joined up with me again, and pull into position and start overwatching the A point. Now I don't see anything immediately, and it's funny how just a little bit difference in your position can make all the difference in the world. Because you can see where Zimmer just shot there and hit his shot hit up right behind that rightmost castle turret there. That's where the Abrams is that's down at A. And now I couldn't see it, and I'm looking for it, and I can't see exactly where he is. But he fires a second shot at him in a second, and I know he can see him, and wherever it is, I'm not in a position where I can see this enemy tank, but my teammate next to me can, so I'm going to end up charging after it here in a moment. He'll take another shot coming up. Of course, while I'm scoped in, so I can't see where the shot goes. And this is where I decide, okay, he can see where this enemy tank is. I can't see it, so while he's got overcover, now he hits him, and it's marked on the map, so I'm going in after him now. He's clicked on the map and said he's right here, so I know roughly where the guy is, and I'm charging in to go after him, watching off to my right to make sure he's not alone, because there's 2 or 3 enemies left in the enemy team at this point. Now I know they're mostly in the air. There we go. He's been click marked on the map now, and I'm going to fire my artillery in the spot where he is. So that both I put a little harassing artillery fire on the enemy Abrams, and also it lets me see 3-dimensionally where he is out in the real world instead of just the click on the map. Now I can tell where he is because this map's got really good representation of the sand dunes on it, but not every map has really good topo features laid out on it. This one actually happens to have a pretty good 3D rendering of the map. There we go. You can see a hit from my artillery on him, so I've got a good marking on him. And just watching behind me, there had been an XM803 firing from up around that way. He'd been killed, but I didn't see that, so I'm watching out for him. Making sure I'm not going to get shot in the back as I'm moving around these sand dunes to get over the top and go after this Abrams up here. So my teammate Zimmer there has been clicking on the map and letting me know where he is as I'm going. And I'm hitting T31 to say yes, roger, affirmative. Making sure that he knows that I understand what he's telling me. And he's keeping the attention of the Abrams as I'm pushing around behind him, kind of advancing under fire here. Advancing under covering fire. Now I hear a shot up here as he returns fire. He doesn't hit my teammate as far as I can tell. I can see where my teammate's gunfire is coming in. And now at this point, the only thing I'm really worried about is he going to be looking back at me because he hears me coming? As I come over the hill, I see, nope, he is focused on my teammate, and this little enveloping maneuver worked really well. One shot through the side of his turret, and that's all she wrote. So we're about to fade back into the live end of the battle here, which somehow I got recorded instead of everything else. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll fade back into live here. Alright. I really enjoy driving the C1 Ariete P, as, you know, you might expect. As a top tier tank. The OF-40s are also pretty darn good too. Italy's got a very nice top tier lineup. Alright. GG! Yeah, it should have been an ace battle, but I'll call that the first good one. It was pretty good. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.